just saw Doom and Darkness's video and thought I'd make a video response on whether I think there should be points or no points, basically Age of Sigmar with points or no points. So I guess to quick go over my personal gaming scene. We've never used a game without points. We've always had to have some kind of points system basically to play. It's possible that some people played some games without points, but that was quickly seen after the first game. Basically, the game wasn't even playable in our local group. Basically, because every person has a different idea of what model is fair against the other. You know, one person wants to play a game with all their models. That upsets the other person. Basically, it automatically creates a division with people based on what games they want to play, and without having like a hour-long conversation beforehand, saying what kind of game you're looking to play, at the local store, it's kind of hard to do successfully without points of some kind. So we've never played. Yeah, we never played a game points. What we've been using is the Clash comp that came out, and that seems to be doing pretty good as far as people enjoying the games, and all the scenarios that comp pack included are pretty good. But so I just want to quick go over the benefits of having a game system with points, or playing Age of Sigmar with points. So first off, you have basically a third-party arbitration, essentially, of saying what's fair between the two opponents, right? So it's not me saying, well, I think this is fair, and you saying, well, I don't think so. There's a third party that we can point to saying, well, they've said it's okay. So obviously, if we're both playing with that system or those rules, then these war bands or whatever you want to call them are balanced, right? And that third party can either be Games Workshop, it can be a tournament organizer. It doesn't really matter. We've generally found that that's the best, as long as it's not someone that's within your internal group that's done it. That generally seems to be more accepted. Another benefit of the points is that pickup games suddenly become more possible. I can show up to the store not knowing who I'm going to play. I bring, X points, find someone else that's brought X points. Without any conversation beforehand, we can play a game. And that's great, right? I don't have to worry about, did they bring their entire collection, that I have to play against using the Age of Sigmar rules straight out of the box. I don't have to worry about any of that. And we can just get right to the gaming. We don't have to have a conversation beforehand. And then you have the other benefit, so you have potentially balanced games. And I would say I've almost never seen, at least from Games Workshop or any other games be balanced, right? Everything's biased in some way or another. Whether it's a new model that they're trying to push and sell, it comes out with amazing rules for cheaper points. Even this Clash comp, you can see between the different factions, wildly difference in points as far as efficiency, right? 1 point for one faction is so many things, but then if you compare it to another faction, it looks like like you're getting robbed essentially. So yeah, I'm a big advocate for games with points, mainly for playing people that you don't know. Now, again, I want to quick talk about games without points, right? I think this is great for people that you're like an intimate gaming partner, essentially. It sounds too much like a relationship, which essentially it kind of is. But if you have a buddy that you've been playing games with for years, you don't need points. You both know what's going to be fun for you to play. You don't need points. Even a game with points, you can just throw them out, right? You don't even need that. So those types of people, you don't need points at all. But even without points, looking at just the basic Age of Sigmar rules, you're still going to use the best. There's still kind of a point system, but it's not called points. This is how I see it. We're each placing units of models, right? We're picking models from our collection. Now, unless I'm just going to bring, go to the closet or whatever, like gaming cases, and just put out everything I own on the table, I might want to use the best models I have. And the victory, sudden death victory conditions based on the models that you have. So, setting aside that if I'm just playing, putting whatever down, say I'm playing competitively, right, and that's a huge issue with Age of Sigmar, I'm going to use the best models. Because we're comparing model to model. If you place, Scarbrand or Amazing Chaos Lord, I'm not going to want to place, some Bretonnian peasants on the ground or men-at-arms. I'm going to put my best stuff that I have on the table. And that in itself is kind of a point system. You're just using models, or model count. So yeah, why would if we're using model count as a basis of like who gets the sudden death rules, why would I place my models that are the worst? Because even looking at the rules, even though there's no points, we know that Scarbrand is better than a unit of 10 Bretonnian men-at-arms. It just is, right? So yeah, so there's still like a point system hidden in there. You're just using model count, but even within the models themselves, one model does not equal another model. So that's kind of an issue in itself. So that's why I think just you need a game of points. It's just better. And a slight, because yeah, basically it brings people with all different types of gaming philosophies to allow to play the game together, right? You can have your win at all costs idiot. Not that anyone really wants to play that guy, but you can have him at the table, and you can have the fluff bunny at the table, and they can both play the game. Now they may still not enjoy playing each other, right? But at least they can get to the table together. You meet new people that way versus, Fluff Bunny only wants to play with people that are exactly like him. It's going to be even harder for him to find games because, they have to have the exact kind of idea of what type of game they're wanting to play. And I guess the other thing is if you don't like points, just ignore the point system. I know you could also say that if you do like points, or if you don't like points and you have points, you can ignore the point system. And if there are no points, you can just create your own. It goes back and forth. In either opinion is perfectly viable. But then a quick tangent from the points or no points. Kind of wanted to so there's kind of my opinion on that. I'm taking a step further. How I think the Age of Sigmar game is best played is really, imagine if you had no model collection to start with. You just you got a regiment box, with your buddy. One person got, the Sigmarites, and the other one got some chaos stuff, and you're slowly building your collection, and you're placing models on the table. You don't need points because your collection's so small. That is when I think Age of Sigmar is the best. If you have no preconceived notion of how a miniature game works, you're just buying stuff and playing with it. As soon as you have someone that has a huge hoard of stuff, it becomes harder to know. And then you have to start having that discussion of like, well, what kind of game are you looking to play? Does this scenario look fun to you? What kind of scenario would you like to, a long conversation of how you're both going to have fun, and while that's good, it's just another step to actually playing the game. We all have limited time to play these games, and I know I personally, when I have 2 hours, 2.5 hours that I get every once in a while, let's say luckily maybe once a month, I don't want to have a conversation for an hour on what kind of game they're looking to play. So I want to show up, have my list that I've made, or I've made at home, I brought everything that I need. I can show up and just play a game. And you can do that universally, right? That's the thing I think a lot of people in my area are missing, and why they're using the Clash comp if they haven't walked away from the game already. Yeah, so that's my response. Interested to hear a future follow-up video to original video, Doom and Darkness. And yeah, catch you guys later.